The Sun in Pisces in the first house typically indicates an individual who is sensitive, intuitive, and empathetic. These people often possess a deep understanding of others' feelings, making them naturally caring and compassionate. They excel in voicing their creative mind, and their imaginations often take them far. However, excessive sensitivity can sometimes cause them to be easily hurt and may find it hard to set boundaries with others. In relationships, they are likely to be selfless, nurturing, and deeply in tune with their partner's feelings. This means they may prioritize their partner's needs over their own, which can lead to power imbalances or feelings of being overwhelmed. It's important for them to learn to balance their own needs with those of others. Career-wise, jobs in the caring professions, such as nursing, or in creative fields, like the arts, could provide satisfying outlets for their empathy and imagination. Psychological or spiritual roles might also be fulfilling, given their understanding of human emotions. However, there are challenges. Vulnerability to others' feelings can lead to emotional overwhelm. Their strong intuition may be dismissed in a world that often values logic over feelings. To overcome this, finding ways to ground themselves and set emotional boundaries will be crucial to their personal growth. Also, harnessing their strength of creativity and translating it into tangible outcomes can help them find fulfillment. Remember, though deeply emotional, they have a great capacity for healing and nurturing, which can benefit both themselves and others around them. With the Sun in Pisces in the second house, you're likely a naturally empathetic, sensitive, and imaginative individual, thriving in environments where you can use your intuition and creativity. You likely value your personal security and find comfort in material possessions. In relationships, you may have a selfless, sacrificial love, often putting others' needs first. You might struggle with boundary setting because of your selflessness, leading to potential issues. On the positive side, your nurturing nature can form deep emotional connections, reinforcing bonds with loved ones. Career-wise, you might be drawn towards creative, healing, or caretaking roles where you can channel your compassionate and intuitive personality. Jobs in art, healthcare, therapy, or charitable sectors could be fulfilling. You're likely to treat your profession as a vocation rather than just a means to earn money. Despite your strong emotional sensitivity, you might experience challenges related to self-esteem and overdependence on material security. You may fear lack or financial instability, which could lead to stress or compulsive behavior. It's crucial for you to learn the balance between financial security and material possessions. Strengths associated with this placement include your compassion, intuition, creativity, and adaptability. You can use these qualities to nurture others, create beauty, and adapt to changes with grace. For personal growth, the key lesson is to develop self-reliance, trusting in your innate abilities and intuition. You should also learn to establish boundaries and appreciate the non-material attributes comprising self-worth. Learning to moderate your attachment to material possessions and finding security within can bring balance and fulfillment to your life. A person with the Sun in Pisces in the third house is likely extremely compassionate, intuitive, and adaptable. They often enjoy expressing their creativity through communication, possibly as writers, teachers, or entertainers. Their sensitivity, combined with the third house's influence on communication, suggests these individuals could excel in fields where they can use their excellent listening skills and empathy. In relationships, their empathy allows them to connect deeply. However, they may struggle with boundaries. The ability to help others understand complex emotions is their strength. But they might face issues deciphering their feelings from others, due to their high level of sensitivity. These individuals own a heightened intuition, giving them the capacity to grasp concepts easily. This can lead to curiosity and a perpetual desire to learn. However, their susceptibility to absorbing energy can drain them emotionally. Strengths of this placement include the ability to communicate effectively, intuition, and creativity. The challenges may include emotional vulnerability, problems with setting boundaries, confusion, and over-reliance on intuition. Personal growth lessons for these individuals could involve learning to balance intuition with rational thought and setting healthy emotional boundaries. Allowing themselves to pursue their thirst for knowledge without becoming overwhelmed by the emotional weight of their surroundings can lead to growth. Furthermore, they should use their strong communication skills to articulate their needs, helping them establish emotional boundaries. With the Sun in Pisces in the 4th house, one may show strong intuition and empathy. Possessing a deep emotional nature, they often prefer solitude, and enjoy connecting with their inner thoughts and feelings. These individuals are very sensitive towards their surroundings and the emotional well-being of others, often showing a great deal of compassion and understanding. In relationships, there's a tendency towards being nurturing and protective. They value emotional connection and security in their relations. Extreme sensitivity can sometimes lead to problems as they might struggle with setting boundaries and might get easily hurt. They deeply value their close bonds, often shouldering the emotional burdens of those they care about. In terms of career, the home or other nurturing environments may play a critical role. They could excel in careers related to caregiving, mental health, or healing arts. Real estate or interior design, anything that allows them to curate comforting environments, can be well-suited paths. Their empathetic nature can help them excel in professions that require understanding and helping others. Key strengths include compassion, intuition, creativity, and ability to understand emotions. Challenges may involve overly emotional reactions, lack of boundaries, and a tendency for escapism. Self-care should be prioritized as they can easily be overwhelmed by the emotions of others. This placement suggests a life lesson of balancing emotional well-being with the needs of others. They need to learn to protect their own emotional health while providing nurturing to others. Personal growth lies in developing emotional boundaries, learning to ground their energy, and finding a career that aligns with their need for inner tranquility. A person with the Sun in Pisces in the 5th house often shows a strong creative streak, interest in spiritual matters, and a free-spirited nature. They're gifted in arts and enjoy expressing their thoughts through painting, music, or writing. A natural empathy makes them particularly good at understanding others' feelings. These individuals may struggle with being too emotional and becoming overwhelmed. They often need solitude to reconnect with themselves. In relationships, they look for partners who offer emotional security and understanding. They're devoted, caring, and extremely loyal but can become too dependent. Maintaining boundaries can be a challenge, making them vulnerable to manipulation or taking on others' problems. With respect to career, they are suited for roles that allow them to use their creative talent and empathetic nature. They may do well in professions related to arts or healing, like therapy or counseling, or in fields where they can empathize with people's problems like social work. A significant strength of this placement is their creativity and emotional intelligence, making them stand out in artistic or caregiver roles. However, their major challenge is the tendency to absorb others' emotions and give too much of themselves, which can result in burnout. For personal growth, learning to balance their emotional nature with practicality and developing healthy boundaries is crucial. They may also need to learn how to channel their creative abilities in constructive ways, such as using art for emotional healing. Strengthening their self-esteem can help in being comfortable with their high sensitivity, turning it into a strength. Having the Sun in Pisces in the 6th house signifies an individual who is naturally empathetic, compassionate, and service-oriented. These people yearn for meaningful connections, on a personal and spiritual level. They are intuitive, imaginative, and often gifted in artistic pursuits. However, their sensitivity can lead to challenges, especially when it results in them absorbing surrounding energies and emotions. In relationships, they tend to be deeply loving, nurturing, and willing to make sacrifices for their partner. They yearn for a deep, almost spiritual connection with their loved ones. However, they need to be cautious of their tendency to lose themselves in their relationships, and learn not to shoulder responsibilities that aren't theirs to bear. When it comes to career, their natural inclination towards service may guide them towards professions in healthcare or social work. Alternatively, their artistic abilities can assist them in pursuing careers in the creative field. However, they may struggle with practical details and time management, which are essential for work efficiency. Strengths associated with this placement include compassion, empathy, creativity, and a strong intuition. On the other hand, the challenges include difficulty in setting boundaries, tendency for escapism, and dealing with the practical aspects of life. Personal growth lessons for these individuals involve learning to establish healthy boundaries, manage their empathetic qualities so they aren't overwhelmed by others' emotions, and balance their service-oriented nature with self-care. Additionally, they need to learn not to fear practical details, but rather see them as necessary tools to help realize their dreams. The Sun in Pisces in the 7th house indicates a person's identity and ego feeds on achieving emotional depth and spiritual connection in relationships. This person is intuitive, compassionate, and good at understanding others' needs. Unconditional love and loyalty are key features they offer and seek in relationships. However, challenges lie in the tendency to wear rose-colored glasses, seeking idealized relationships while overlooking flaws. This might lead to disappointment or enable toxic relationships. For personal growth, learning to set healthy boundaries and understanding the difference between helping and enabling is beneficial. As Pisces is a mutable sign, these individuals are adaptable with a knack for understanding different perspectives. This makes them suitable for careers in therapy, counseling, and diplomatic relations. Creativity and spirituality are also strong, so they might excel in artistic or humanitarian careers. As a strength, they are often intuitive and sensitive to the emotional climate around them. They are usually compassionate, empathetic, and understanding, making them great confidants, partners, and healers. The downside could be that they might become easily overwhelmed by intense emotions or conflicts. Their personal growth often comes from better discernment and discerning when to help others versus when to step back. It's crucial for them to understand that it's okay to put themselves first sometimes, and that not every problem around them is theirs to solve. By setting healthier emotional boundaries and learning to differentiate between realism and idealism, they can achieve a more balanced and healthier interpersonal ecosystem. The Sun in Pisces in the 8th house suggests an individual with a very intuitive and psychic nature. This placement indicates someone who is deeply emotional and highly empathetic. They're drawn to the mysteries of life and have a natural ability to understand the unseen. In terms of personality, they possess profound inner strength, resilience, and a willingness to transform and transcend personal hardships. In relationships, they are likely to seek partners who are emotionally mature and capable of deep bonding. They might confront issues of dependency and power dynamics, but if navigated well, the relationships can bring rich emotional satisfaction. As far as career influences are concerned, finances, psychology, science, or the occult may appeal to the individual. Their ability to tackle crises makes them a natural fit for situations requiring management of emergencies. Helping professions could also be fulfilling as they often feel compelled to assist those in need or distress. Strengths of this placement include strong intuition, deep understanding of human nature, and a resilient spirit. Challenges may comprise emotional sensitivity, difficulty setting boundaries, and potential misunderstandings due to psychic perceptions. The journey towards personal growth for them might involve learning to balance their emotional and spiritual worlds. As they learn to trust their inner wisdom, they could transform their own lives as well as others around them. Ultimately, their life lesson would be about harnessing their intense emotional and spiritual depth. Having the Sun in Pisces in the 9th house suggests a personality that's spiritual, imaginative, and insightful. This individual likely has a deep desire for wisdom, possibly seeking truth through philosophy, religion, or travel. Their curiosity can drive their learning, and they may find fulfillment through helping others. They're likely empathetic and intuitive, often reading situations and people with uncanny accuracy. In relationships, they can be emotionally sensitive and caring partners. They may have a tendency to put others' needs before their own, sometimes to their detriment. Their intuitive nature may draw them to people who need help or healing, which can lead to their relationships feeling more like fixer-upper projects. They value emotional connections and mutual understanding. Career-wise, this positioning can favor roles involving teaching, expressing creativity, providing counsel, or traveling. They would likely excel in jobs encountering diverse cultures and beliefs. They might also find fulfillment in therapeutic roles or occupations that involve helping others, like social work or the healing arts. Strengths include their compassionate nature, intuition, and eagerness to understand and help others. They're natural dreamers and idealists, which can inspire those around them. Challenges may stem from their emotional sensitivity, making it hard for them to set boundaries. They may struggle with over-idealizing situations or people, and could have a tendency to escape reality rather than face difficulties head-on. Personal growth may involve learning to set clear boundaries, understanding their own needs, and harnessing their intuition without letting it lead to emotional overwhelm. They may find a fulfilling path in personal development, spirituality, or the arts. With the Sun in Pisces in the 10th house, an individual might have an imaginative and sensitive personality. This placement might inspire them to be emotionally intuitive, empathetic, and adaptable, often finding joy in helping others. They may tend to be dreamy, spiritual, and often lost in their own thoughts. In relationships, they may be nurturing and love to care for their partners. However, they might struggle with boundaries, giving more than they receive, or getting lost in their partner's needs and losing sight of their own. Their ideal partner is someone who can support and ground them. As Pisces is represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions, they may constantly feel pulled between their ambition and their desire to retreat into their dreamy inner world, which can result in a struggle with focus and decision-making. This placement also signifies a deep connection with the public, making them suitable for public-facing careers involving human services or creative arts. They might derive satisfaction from making a positive impact on Othersa lives through their career. Their compassion and kindness are their greatest strengths. However, their sensitivity can also result in them taking things personally and getting emotionally overwhelmed. A significant personal growth lesson for them might be to learn to balance their giving nature with setting personal boundaries, to avoid emotional burnout and to prioritize self-care. They might also benefit from learning practical ways to achieve their ambitions, rather than getting lost in dreaming about possibilities. End of explanation. When the sun is in Pisces in the 11th house, it suggests individuals with a nature that is sympathetic, emotional, and understanding. These individuals often have a strong sense of compassion, possessing a natural inclination to help others without expecting anything in return. On the dark side, they can become overly sensitive or escapist when they struggle to deal with harsh realities. In terms of relationships, these individuals have a wide circle of friends. They're team players who value close-knit friendships and social causes. However, their compassionate and empathetic natures can expose them to manipulative individuals, against which they need to guard. As for career influences, these people may excel in fields that involve helping others or working in groups, for example, social work, counseling, or community-based roles. They might also find their calling in creative or imaginative endeavors like music, art, or writing because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of inspiration and dreams. Their key strengths lie in their compassion, intuitive understanding, and creative abilities. Challenges include a propensity to be overly sensitive, feeling overwhelmed by others' problems, or a tendency to escape reality instead of dealing with it. Personal growth may involve learning to set boundaries to avoid being exploited by others. They may also need to find healthy ways to deal with life's harsh realities instead of using escapism or daydreaming as a defense mechanism. Over time, they can learn to balance their empathy from a protective space and channel their creative force into impactful and meaningful endeavors. The sun in Pisces in the 12th house signifies a deeply intuitive and spiritual personality. This placement suggests a sensitive and empathetic individual. Sensitivity combined with a love for solitude creates a tendency towards introspection, with a dreamy and artistic nature. These individuals often express themselves through art, music, or other forms of creative expression. They are in tune with their emotions and the emotions of others, which makes them fantastic listeners. In relationships, they are compassionate and caring. Their nurturing nature makes them excellent partners, friends, and family members. However, their sensitivity can lead to them feeling overwhelmed or taking on others' issues as their own. In terms of career, their empathetic nature can serve them well in professions such as psychology, nursing, social work, and the arts. Their introspective and sensitive nature could also make them keen philosophers, spiritual guides, or writers. Strengths of this placement include compassion, empathy, and a natural artistic ability. Challenges they might face include a tendency towards escapism and difficulty setting personal boundaries. Suggested personal growth lessons for these individuals include learning to safeguard their own emotional health and not take on others' burdens to a detrimental degree. They need to balance sensitivity with self-preservation, without losing their selfless nature. Despite challenges, this placement can lead to a fulfilling life through their natural inclination towards creativity, empathy, and spiritual exploration.